Football's a tough sport, and some of its players have some serious off-the-field issues which put a huge target on their backs. This is why today I'll talk about the most hated NFL players, starting with, and this one might surprise you, Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, hands down. While he's a sensation on the field, off the field, nah, he's just not it. So what's the problem? Why does he get so much hate? For starters, people claim that he has a huge ego, and his attitude also isn't really appreciated by the fans. Not only the fans, but even his former teammates have also said some serious things about him. They've gone on the record to say Rodgers isn't leadership material. Yikes! A lot of his former teammates have come forward to share their problems with Rodgers, and this has put a huge dent in his reputation. People say that he has this "I'm always the smartest guy in the room" attitude, which seems to be the biggest problem. Fix up, Rodgers. And while Aaron at least has the credentials to back up his attitude, this next guy's career got messed up right after it started. Kareem Hunt. He was on the way to becoming a great football player. His rookie year with the Kansas City Chiefs was nothing short of sensational. Hunt surprised everyone with his skills on the field during 2017. But in 2018, he did something terrible. It was supposed to be another amazing year for him, but then there was a video leak. In said video, Hunt was clearly seen assaulting a woman. Disgusting. He was immediately released by the Chiefs. Well deserved. After he served his suspension, he was picked up by the Cleveland Browns. Now he's trying to win the hearts of football fans around the world, but I don't think any of them are willing to take him back. The next guy didn't do something as terrible as Hunt, but it's enough to land him on this list. Cam Newton. He's one talented player. No one can ever doubt his abilities, but I can't forget what he did in his only Super Bowl appearance. In one of the plays, the ball was right under his feet, and this guy didn't even bother to recover it. He gave up on that play too easily, like he didn't even care. And after his team lost, in the post-game conference, he was seen laughing and pouting. His "I don't care about the game" attitude wasn't appreciated by anyone, especially the fans. They lost all the respect they once had for this man, and rightly so.
3 seconds left on the play clock, and obviously
People dream of playing in the Super Bowl, and this is what you do with your opportunity? Terrible. Now, while losing doesn't seem to matter to Newton, this next guy just loses it whenever he has a bad game. We're talking about Odell Beckham Jr., another astonishingly talented player, but another one who's hated by the fans for one silly reason. Beckham Jr. loses his cool too easily.
and then a push, a kick. Good thing you brought it up earlier, and you're a guy that played in the league, all-pro offensive lineman.
Whenever things aren't going his way or the team's playing badly, he can't stand it. Which is right, but what he does is absolutely wrong. He lashes out at his teammates, and for this, he gets so much hate. And he's always in the news as well. And it isn't something you want to make headlines for, trust me. While Beckham Jr. is only hated for one reason, the next player has done everything possible to be in the bad books of the fans. Ezekiel Elliott. Honestly, I think he might get surprised when someone shows him love, because he tries everything in his power to receive the opposite from the fans. From violating the personal conduct policy to beating a DJ in a bar, he has done many things. And all of them have been off the field, by the way. And that's not all. With a player like him on the team, it must be tough to be a Cowboys fan. I understand how you guys feel, it's tough. Speaking of tough though, it's hard for me to even explain what this next player did. In 2022, Araiza was accused of a 17-year-old girl. He, along with his SDSU teammates, were allegedly involved. This happened in California at an off-campus party in 2021. Araiza, along with his agent, immediately denied all these allegations by saying that the reality isn't what is being portrayed in the media or the lawsuit. On the other hand, his lawyer said the victim was trying to make as much money as possible from the case by accusing Araiza of all because he's famous. But the victim said she didn't even know who Araiza was back then. All this just justifies all the hate towards him. Unfortunately, Araiza isn't the only NFL player accused of SA. Deshaun Watson. In 2021, more than 24 massage therapists accused Watson of harassment and assault. Despite settling all those 20 claims, he said he didn't do anything wrong. Because of this, he was suspended for the whole of the 2021 season and was also traded to the Cleveland Browns, and his punishment wasn't finished there. He faced an 11-game suspension in the 2022 season as well. Totally deserved. Speaking of deserved, Ndamukong Suh definitely deserves his spot on this list. He has a reputation as a player who nobody wants to face. And to be honest, no one needs this kind of player in their team as well. He's the master of all the dirty plays that you might come across in basketball, and I'm not even exaggerating this. He has been fined countless times for his on-field debacles. You name it, and he has been fined for it. From stepping on the opponent's feet to kicking them and making them fall. All this is just a part of his playing style. Yes, over the years, we've seen him do this less often, maybe because he was getting too much hate because of it. But whatever the reason might be, he doesn't do it that much now, which is a good thing. But every once in a while, we still see glimpses of the player he used to be. Maybe there's still a chance. Speaking of second chances though, Henry Ruggs definitely doesn't deserve any. In 2021, he was involved in a drunk driving incident that resulted in the death of a 23-year-old woman and her dog. Now, that is just insanity. No one expects this kind of behavior from a professional athlete. And on top of that, someone was killed because of his carelessness. He was immediately dropped by the Las Vegas Raiders and hasn't been picked by any other team in the league. Can't say I'm surprised. But it's still pretty mild considering what the final player on this list did. Antonio Brown. Ever heard of a player who was sued by more than 24 women? Like, how horrible do you have to be sued that many times? You see, Brown has always been in the headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. His off-the-field antics were just too much for any team to take. From helmet issues to use allegations to social media meltdowns, he has faced it all. And because of all that, despite being such a talented player, he gets so much hate. And this is the only reason why he's currently a free agent and no team wants him. It's a shame to see such talent go to waste, but he asked for it all. That's it. These were the most hated NFL players right now. I'll see you guys in the next one.